All right, we'll get rolling. So welcome everyone. My name is Erica. I am on the customer success team here at Listenwise. So if you're a premium customer, I've likely already worked with you, done a training with you. So welcome back. Excited to have you. If anyone's new to Listenwise or new to me, I've been at the company for about 2.5 years. I provide training, product, tech support, all the support for teachers. So if you ever have feedback, questions, etc., please reach out to me. And that's kind of a theme of this update here. All of these releases are informed by feedback from teachers like you. So always reach out if you have questions, comments, feedback, etc. Okay, so thank you again for joining today to learn more about the newest releases from Listenwise. I'm going to show the latest and the greatest product and content updates for you. And I'm also going to do a site demo, so you'll get to know more about how to actually incorporate all of these updates into your Listenwise instruction right after this webinar. Before we begin, just want to quickly mention 2 things. I'd love to hear more about you. So what do you teach? Where are you from? How long have you been with Listenwise? You can put your comments and questions throughout the webinar in the box, and we'll use the chat box to communicate for this. And then this webinar is focused mainly on Listenwise premium features. So if you don't have premium yet, just reach out to me if you're interested in learning more, and we can set you up. All right, so diving in, the first thing I want to cover here is some changes we've made to Google. So we recently released an update that allows you to share Listenwise quiz scores directly to your Google Classroom gradebook. So it's going to make it even easier for all the Google Classroom teachers to use Listenwise and seamlessly integrate with your Google routines. And I'll give you a quick demo on how to find all this in a moment, just giving you some screenshots here. And first, just want to touch base and again, review all the other Google integrations we have. So we have the single sign-on for easy login, Google Classroom roster import, and then you can link share assignments from Classroom. We've also put together a Listenwise plus Google Classroom guide for step-by-step details on all of our integrations. I will send the slides over after, so you'll have all of these links readily available to you. But just want to highlight that is another tool we have for you. All right, we're going to do a website demo, so I'm going to open up my Listenwise and show you all of the Google features. So we'll open my account here. So the first feature I want to show you is that single sign-on, so I can just log in with Google. Makes it really easy. I'll just pick my account and we're good to go. So that's the first integration. The second integration is our Google Classroom roster import. So just so you know, from your Classes tab, you can import all of your Google Classrooms. You just click this button and then you check off whatever classes you want to import and click import and you're done. Everything's imported. And student rosters are also imported as well. So that makes it easy to get up and running with Listenwise. And just so you know, if you ever need to make updates to the roster, you can easily do that by clicking this button, Update Roster from Google Classroom. So that's rostering. The next thing I want to talk about is sharing assignments to Google Classroom. So a few different ways you do that depending on the type of assignment. So I'm going to show you how to share a written assignment first. So from our Assignments tab, find whatever assignment you want to share with your students. So I'm going to click this one just for an example. And then here you will see if you want to share this assignment to this class, you're going to click the Share to Google Classroom button. Click that. It's going to prompt you now to choose a class to share it with. Choose an action, so you'll create an assignment or whatever makes most sense for your classroom. Click Go, fill out the options here. And then once you publish it, it will link students directly to the Listenwise assignment. Again, just a link sharing here. All work has to be done in Listenwise. So that's how you would share a written assignment to Google Classroom. And then the newest update that I just mentioned is sharing a quiz to Google Classroom. So let's go find a quiz. Pro tip for everyone, if you just want to see every quiz on Listenwise, you don't care what the topic is, keep the search term blank and then just click the with quiz button and search. And then you'll see every story that has a quiz. So that's a good way if you're just looking for quizzes, you don't really care what the topic is, you just want to practice listening, great option there. So we'll click into the assignment here, and then to assign the quiz, we're going to click the Assign Quiz button. And then here, you just need to make sure this option will only work if you import a Google Classroom roster into Listenwise. So if you choose that class you imported, you will then see that you can share the quiz to Google Classroom and send scores to Google Classroom. So this will automatically create an assignment, and then this will share the grades to gradebooks once students submit quizzes. And just so you know, you can't just share scores, you also need to share the assignment. So that's why you can't click the box unless you click that box first. And then it's as easy as that. You can assign by student, customize the supports like normal, and then you can click assign, and then all the work is done. Everything is sent directly to your Google Classroom. The last thing I want to share with you, if you ever just want to share a story that's not associated with a Listenwise assignment, you can always just click on any story. You'll see the Share Audio button. So you click this, and then you can just pull this link, and you can, I'll just show you what this will look like. And then you can share this with students, and then they can log in and they'll get the resources, but it will just be the story itself. So, you know, no assignment attached to it. So if you just want them to listen, maybe you want to pull a couple of stories, share with them, you can do that. And then you could, again, link that directly to your Google Classroom. So pull the link or use that button to share. So those are the integrations with our Google Classroom. Again, we have the step-by-step guide that I'll share with you after you'll get that link. I want to go back to the slides here. So now we're going to switch gears and talk about new user experiences. So these were changes we made to improve your experience as a teacher and then also the student experience. So the first update here is the Texthelp Toolbar. So we heard from teachers that they were not aware of the Texthelp Toolbar feature because it's a bit hidden on the site. So if you remember the students, it used to be a white bar at the bottom of the page. So now we've reworked it. It's going to be more prominent on the student's assignment. So you can see here it's this blue bar. It's going to sit at the top of the page, and students are most likely going to see it, and they're not afraid to click around. So they'll use that tool. That'll be more prominent. And just so you know, functionality remains the same. Students can highlight text, choose read aloud, dictionary definition, Spanish translation, and the picture dictionary. I'll give you a sample for what that looks like. We'll pop up an assignment when we get to the site, but just want to show you a few other things before we do that. So this is the teacher view. So when assigning a written assignment, we've made a few changes here. You can choose if you want to include the toolbar, and we've just made a little info pop up. So if you are questioning what it is when creating assignments, we'll be able to give you a little bit more info on that. So that's all within the assignment creation workflow. Again, I'll point that out in a second. And then, last but not least, we have made it easier to review students' written assignments. So now, when you are reviewing students' responses, you're going to see all the questions are numbered. So it's easier for you to give feedback now, because I know this was definitely an update that was driven by teacher requests. So as I mentioned up front, definitely email me if you have feedback. If you see things like this that slow you down and are more difficult, definitely reach out, and we'll try to make improvements down the road based on that feedback. Okay, so second website demo. I'm going to open up the site again. I'm going to show you how the Texthelp Toolbar works, show you that new written assignment review. So first up, let's look at what the Texthelp Toolbar looks like. So I'm just going to go in here, open up one of the assignments I already have created, and then I'm actually going to show you first how the teacher assignment creation part works. So we're just going to go into this. So this will look very similar. When you're creating an assignment, the first step here is going to give you all these options. So first you could remove or include the Texthelp Toolbar. And then if you hover over this, you're going to see more info, gives you a preview of the toolbar. So keep an eye out for that in a written assignment. and include it or not include it in assignments, customize it, differentiate as needed. And then I want to show you the student preview. So if we pop this open from this page, this is what student assignments look like. Again, here's the Texthelp toolbar. It actually moves around the screen. But again, functionality remains the same. Students can still highlight text. Click play.
The following statements are spoken.
Or highlight a single word. Get that dictionary definition, Spanish translation, or the picture dictionary. So awesome supports there. It's going to be more visible to students again. It'll be on the screen. They can play around. And just so you know, the quiz still remains the same. So no dictionary supports on the quizzes, just the audio supports. And that's just because there's vocab on the quiz and we don't want to give any answers away with that. Okay, so popping back over to my slides here. Our next section here is about new content. So lots of good things to share with you with content. First up, just want to share some new lessons we've recently added to Listenwise. We have well over 1,800 stories total on Listenwise, both lessons and current events, over 300 quizzes, a lot of great stuff for you guys to check out. So new content in social studies, science, ELA, here are some of the newest and best stories available to you. And we're always releasing new content, so keep an eye out for that. We mentioned newest lesson releases in our Sunday newsletter, so sign up for that if you don't already to keep up on the latest. And then next up is current events. So just a reminder, we publish a new current event every school day. Again, there's always something new on Listenwise to check out. Here are some of the newest and most popular stories with students so far this school year. So you can see it's a range of topics, a lot of teen stories. Those are always more popular with students because it's relatable, gets them talking and thinking with each other. And I want to highlight here at the bottom, we have Quiz Wednesday and Debate Fridays. So a newer thing that we started was publishing a quiz with every Wednesday story. And Friday's been Debate Friday for a while, but just want to highlight that as another thing that's always new and interesting happening on Listenwise. Quick listening activity idea. So one of our wonderful Listenwise advocate teachers has always been using current event stories, but now that we have the Wednesday quiz, he assigns the Wednesday quiz to his students every week. So that's an easy, quick listening activity. If you use Google Classroom, you can export all of those grades. So really, really easy there. And then debates are awesome for whole class activities. You can use them as a writing prompt. So again, versatility in how you use the resources. I just want to give you a couple of ideas on how others are using it. Okay, and then what I'm most excited about, and it's hot off the presses, last but definitely not least here, we launched collections last week. So I'm so excited about these. They're curated story collections based on popular themes you may be teaching in the classroom. So essentially they're audio text sets. And you can use them in a number of ways. So maybe use a collection to accompany a novel or curriculum topic unit just to diversify perspectives on those important universal themes. Or you can have students select different stories to listen to within a collection and then have them discussed in a small group. So lots of ways to use them. Makes it easier for you to find those best stories. And we are planning to add more collections, so if you have some themes you're interested in, you want to see on Listenwise, again, let me know. The theme of today is giving that feedback, sharing what you like, what you don't like. You can do that via email after. You can chat in the box now, so just let me know. Okay, back to the website. So for this one, I'm actually going to review story discovery, how to browse, find, search, all those filters I just showed you, and then we'll review collections. So first up, just a reminder, you can always browse by the topic areas. So again, social studies, science, ELA stories. So here are the ELA stories. Again, you can always browse. You'll see the new stories that are here. But the most popular way to find stories is by searching by topic. So pretty much any page you can do that. So let's just search for hero, see what we see. Lots of stories here. So just again, that filtering option by subject, language challenge. Want to call your attention again. We have the auto-graded quizzes. We have the EL supports. but those are not on every story. So if you are looking for those popular features, just check off the box and search again. And then want to call it another way to search and filter for stories is that language challenge. So if you click on this, you get more, but this is just about listening complexity. So it helps you choose stories most appropriate for your students. So I actually want to remove the high language challenge, so just have low and medium with the quiz and scaffolding so you can filter for that. And then from here, you find a story you like, click into it, explore, review, and if you like it, just remember you can always favorite stories. So it's going to go into your favorites tab, and then you can add different tags, and then add tags, and you're good to go. So again, it goes into your favorites tab so you can find it later. So good way when you're exploring the site, finding new stories, just to tag those for later. And let's pop over to the current events. Again, new story published every day. There's always something new and interesting happening. The two things that I mentioned, debate Fridays and quiz Wednesdays. So again, you'll see debate. It's here every Friday. Pro tip, if you search debate, you're going to find all of our debate stories. So that can be a good way if you just want to find a debate for class that week. This is a good place to start, so you can just search all of those stories. So that's every Friday. And then every Wednesday, let's see, I think it's this story here, if I did my math right. Perfect. So you'll see there's a quiz on that. So every Wednesday, there's a quiz. It's usually a lower language challenge level, so great for all learners. And let's see, let's talk about collections now. So you'll now find it in the menu here. So if we click on collections, you will see we have our collections here. Again, we're just starting with 8. We're gonna add more as we go along. Range of topics, more ELA themes here. So if we then click on a collection we want to explore, you'll then see a summary of what these stories are about. You'll see all the stories, and then you can click into those stories and then assign do work from there. So that's one way to find stories on those topics. And then another way is if you're searching for a topic, let's just search for, identity as an example. If there is a related collection, you will see it at the top here, and it's going to be shaded in green, so it'll pop. And then that's another way that you can click into that and then find those stories on that topic. So awesome way to find content. Super excited about the collections. And again, if you have any requests of what you'd like to see in the future, definitely let me know. Okay, back to the slides. We're going to full screen these. Okay, so want to touch base on some support resources. We've reorganized things on our Teacher Support Center, so it's going to be even easier to find content. There's more content for what you need. So I'm going to actually open it up right now and show you. A few things I want to call out. So now we have drop-down menus in 5 different categories. A new resource we created this year is the Quick Start Guide for students. So if you have a class code, you want students to follow the instructions, you can just send them this link and they'll have that step-by-step instruction. And then we also have a quick 3-minute intro video to walk students through everything they need to know with Listenwise. So this is a great page if you need some help and guidance to get your students up and going. Teaching Resources has awesome resources. So 2 things I want to call your attention to: the integration strategy section. Lots of ways to use Listenwise. You'll see different ideas. It'll spark your interest. First month of Listenwise, how do other teachers use, how to use the debates, uplifting student voice. A lot of great stuff on this page, and we're always adding new resources as we develop them. And then another page I want to call your attention to is the Curriculum Connection. So some ideas based on what you're teaching and your student population. So great stuff there as well. And then last but not least, hot topics. So media literacy. I know student podcasting is becoming really popular. We have a bunch of resources here, so you can dig into that if you're interested in podcasting. The next update in terms of teacher resources here, we just launched a Facebook community. So this is just a knowledge sharing space for Listenwise questions, just general teaching and listening tips. So highly encourage you to join the group, ask questions, engage with other educators. And we also share updates in this group as well, and we ask for your feedback, etc. So good place to keep up with all the new things on Listenwise. And last here, just want to mention, if you want to do a deep dive into learning how to podcast with students, we now offer a 2 to 3 month PD module, and it's in collaboration with Soundtrap. So it's up to 6 teachers per cohort, and you'll be supported by podcasting, public radio experts, and you'll come away with a plan and a student podcasting project. So if you want to learn more, we'll have this bit.ly in the slides after, so you can fill out that information form, and we'll get you started. But really excited about this. It's so much fun. You get to use Soundtrap and Listenwise, and we'll guide you through that process. So excited about that. Okay, last but not least, I want to share some new things with you all, things that are coming up in the future that we're really excited about. So we have been hearing from educators that they want lower level content, and I'm thrilled to announce we are developing lessons for grades 3 through 5. So these lessons will be rolling out in January, and we'll keep you updated on everything as it progresses. We'll make big announcements. You won't miss it when it's ready. And if you happen to be a 3rd through 5th grade teacher and you want to give us some feedback on lessons, we would love your help. We're actually doing that this month. So again, reach out if you want to help with those next steps. But really excited about that and the new audio and content coming. And then also thrilled to announce, we've been working with Lexile to develop a listening level. So it's just like the reading level you know and love, and it's going to start in early Q1 of next year, so January or February. So all Listenwise stories will have a listening level to measure listening complexity. So we'll go from that language challenge level to actual Lexile listening levels. And then we'll roll out there with the functionality to measure students' listening ability levels and down the road. So really, really excited about that. Again, we'll make lots of announcements. You won't miss it, but just want to give you guys a sneak peek that is coming down the road in just a few months. It's hard to believe it's already the end of the year. So just a few short months before all these exciting updates happen. All right, so that wraps it up for the webinar today. If you have any questions, chat them in the box, or if you have any feedback or want to connect with me, definitely let me know. And I'll give you a few seconds if you have any questions. But I do actually have one question from someone I heard earlier. People want to know how often content is published on Listenwise. So obviously we have the new story every school day. So that's at least 5 stories new a week. And then we hope to publish at least a few lessons a week as well. So anywhere from 5 to 10 new lessons and stories and current events on Listenwise. So again, always something new to learn. All right, if there are no questions, so excited about all these updates and new releases to come. Thank you guys for joining. And as always, we love hearing from you. So let us know what you think of these changes if you're excited. If you want to see more, let me know, because you guys, it's the feedback from teachers like you that inform our future updates. And wonderful. We're so excited to have you all with Listenwise, and reach out with any questions, and I will send follow-ups, both of the recording and the slides after, so you can review them. Thanks, everyone.